Welcome to this tutorial on how to import an image correctly in PowerPoint. Since this particular tutorial will be watched by both inexperienced and experienced PowerPoint users, I'll be moving through this tutorial at a slower pace so that the inexperienced user can easily follow along. There are two methods in placing a picture or image on a PowerPoint slide. Let's take a look at the most common. The most common method is to go up to the Insert tab, click on it, hit Insert Picture. I'm using this device, which means this computer. And we're going to insert a picture of a barn in front of the Teton Mountains up in Wyoming. Now at this point, most people will want to do something with this picture, such as resize it. We're going to do that at this point. Or they might even want to just move it to the side, or they might want a smaller picture. So they might want to shrink it down. Different things they can do with this picture. What we're going to do, we want this picture to take up the whole slide. And so we're going to move it up higher, higher, higher. And now it takes up the whole slide. By the way, I adjusted that by using, let me go back real quick, by using the Shift key. And that way the picture maintains its proportions as it's being enlarged. Now, how do I know this picture is on the slide and what does it look like? Because I shrunk it beyond the slide. Well, we can go up here to transparency and we can make this picture transparent. And now you'll see that the picture, right here is the slide, that the picture fits perfectly within the slide. Here's the outside slide, here's inside the slide. We go back up to transparency. Return to the normal view. Now next, people normally add one other item. They normally will add text. So we're going to click off the picture in order to deselect it. We go up and we'll do insert, and we're going to insert a text box. And we're going to put in here the word Wyoming, since that is where this is at. And we're going to select that. We're going to turn it red, the text, and we're going to enlarge the text up to, say, 54. And we'll shrink the box a little bit. Now I'm reaching up here. If you notice, I'm grabbing the line, right on the line is what I'm selecting. That allows me to move that text around. If I were to grab inside, I would do nothing but select the text again. So if you want to move it, select right on the line. So now at this point, what most people would do is they would select off the text, such as this, and go on with their work. Well, what happens a lot of times is because you're adding other things, maybe you're adding a graphic or a shape or whatever also to this slide, that you don't recognize the fact that this slide is still selected, that this background, this image, is still selected. And so what happens is people, when they're putting in a lot of photos, they end up slightly moving the photos off the slide. And so they try to go back to where they were before. So it ends up being kind of a little hassle in the fact that you select the text, great. And then you select off the text, well, guess what? Now you select the slide. The only way to avoid that is select the text, go off the background of the slide and select the neutral area, and now you're off both items. Now, one advantage of putting the slides this way, or the photos on the slide this way, is the fact that you can select the slide. We've selected it. You can see the little dots there showing we selected it, and we can shift, select the Wyoming, and there's other things we can do with it. Like, for example, we could group them together so that they will now move as a pair. We can do special effects and so forth because they are both active. However, if you don't need to move that photo, you don't need to make it a group, you don't need to make a special effect involving that photo, what's recommended by the experts is that you install the picture in another way. And that way is simply, we'll go to this slide, go up to Design, and you're going to put the picture into a background instead of just right on top of the slide. So we got a background, we can have a solid fill, we can have a gradient fill, we can have a picture or texture fill. And I'm selecting that. And because we had selected up here this bamboo type texture, it pops up. But don't worry, we go down a little bit further, right over here, and we'll select Insert. We're inserting a picture from a file right on the computer. Once again, our barn in Wyoming. We'll insert it. Bingo. Now, one thing that's happened, and I don't know if you noticed, is the fact that it automatically sized the picture to the slide. It did what we did on the first slide. Remember, on this first slide, we expanded the corners. In fact, I'm going to enlarge this. So on this one here, we stretched this end and we stretched that end. Microsoft did the same thing down here for you without you having to do it. How do we know? Because on the outside, it will show, let me go back here, it will show that there's an offset. So I go in this, by the way, on the right hand side here, I clicked on the fill button, and it shows that it's offset 17% up above, 17% below. You just don't see it. So it's lined up that picture automatically for you. So that allows you to put in a lot of pictures on a lot of slides really fast. If you're in a hurry, this is a quick and dirty way to get your pictures in there and get them to where they automatically line up. Now, if we go back up here, remember we usually with a picture might add some graphics or slide. We're going to copy this picture or this word, Wyoming. Come back down to our next slide. We're going to paste it in. And now we have our Wyoming here. Now, when I click off of the text, I don't have to worry about activating this picture because it's part of the background. No matter what, I'm not selecting it. I can select the text, but I can't select the picture in the back. It's set. Now, what if I want to adjust that picture? I can come up here, and there's all kinds of things that you can do. The same as we could do up here. Like on this one, we had, for example, on the Insert tab, we came up and when we clicked on the picture, we come up with a picture format, and we have all these different methods to change this picture, like we did the transparency. If we go down here, we go into Design, we go to Format Background, and now we have all of these things that we can do, tools we can use to, for example, special effects. We can go in and we can change this picture. For example, if I want this picture being black and white, I simply come over to saturation, and rather than make it bright, I will turn it down to 0, and now we have a black and white image. Thank you for watching this tutorial, and please hit the subscribe button and watch for other tutorials on PowerPoint.